Methodist Church. Okay, they have been in existence now for quite a number of years. In fact, the original band started in 1990. And out of those persons, I think there's just one person is still in the band from the beginning. Most of the members came on afterwards. So the band now consists of 10 members, which would 4 vocalists, one lead vocalist, and 2 keyboardists, guitarist, bass, drummer, and percussionist.
You're now looking forward to this fundraiser this weekend. Why the fundraiser?
Yes, the fundraiser is mainly to raise funds to improve the audio-video system of the Phillipsburg Methodist Church, which has been there for years, and it's time to upgrade it. What we want to do is to have it modernized, where when worshipers come on Sunday, the text on video, and you have a better sound quality also for the music, for live performances.
This is all for a worthy cause.
That's right.
Where exactly will this fundraiser take place?
This will be at the Port de Plaisance under the tent, and we'll be starting at 7:30 p.m. sharp. That's this Saturday, November the 3rd.
And your programming will entail what?
Okay, it will entail, of course, gospel music, and we will be praising the Lord in harmony, as we call it. That's the title, Praising in Harmony. And the harmonics will also have guest artists. So we will be doing the main act, but we also have some well-known guest artists, namely Angie Pantuflet, Karen Cadogan, Cecile Griffith, Don Froston, Benjamin Bell, Chava, and also Raymond Benjamin.
Tickets can be had now for this very important fundraiser. Where?
At the Family Bookstore, Van Dorp, Adolphus Richardson Supply, Methodist Church office as well.
And they're going for how much?
$20 per person, but at the gate we will also be selling tickets for $10 for children under 12.
Taking into consideration the importance of this fundraiser, approximately how much are you looking forward to raising?
Well, the Port de Plaisance can hold about 500 people, and we expect to have a full house. The interest is very high. We still have tickets there, but I would like to encourage everyone to get their tickets early, because this is going to be great. This is the first time that the Harmonics is putting on a concert to this magnitude, and everyone is very excited, and we are looking forward to this concert very much.
And of course, during this event, persons will be entertained musically. Do I take it that the gospel songs that will be sung as well will also be done in the manner of calypso, reggae, and so on?
That's right. We will have different genres. We'll have reggae, jazz, and contemporary. Also, we'll have some of the old-time gospel type songs. So we'll mix it up, and so everyone will get something that they like.
Once again, this will take place when, where, and from what time?
This will be at the Port de Plaisance under the tent, November the 3rd, this Saturday, November the 3rd, starting at 7:30 p.m. sharp.
You can win with the Caribbean lottery. You can win, making a difference, changing lives. Take a chance, and you can win with the Caribbean lottery. You can win, you can win.
The Phillipsburg Methodist Church proudly presents the Harmonics in Concert under the theme Praising in Harmony. This exciting concert takes place on Saturday, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Princess Port de Plaisance Pavilion. Guest artists that will be sharing the stage are Don Froston, Angie Ponteflet, Cecil Griffith, Karen Cadogan, Raymond Benjamin, Benjamin Bell, and Shaba along with a djembe group. Come out, support, and be blessed by the Harmonics in Concert on Saturday, November 3rd. Proceeds of the concert will go towards the upgrading of the audio-video system of the Phillipsburg Methodist Church.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Parliament, especially the opposition, usually after 100 days, it's only then they start to criticize. Well, until now, as anti-poverty platform, we haven't heard neither government, neither parliament addressing, okay, what have you achieved in these 100 days? If we talk poverty eradication, this is Sustainable Development Goal number 1. Formateur Heiliger, leader of the United Democrats, in the Daily Herald of Saturday, March the 24th, he said that poverty alleviation may not be so directly stated in the guidelines from the governor to me in my role as formateur, but I can assure the anti-poverty platform and the people of St. Martin that this issue forms part of everything we are discussing. So poverty in St. Martin is a consequence of an unbalanced implementation of the right to development in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Poverty is a violation of the human right to an adequate standard of living that is needed for the health and the well-being of oneself and one's family. So as we illustrated in our press conference of last week, the only intention of this government was to study what is the poverty line in St. Martin. And as we concluded already last week, we told you no eradication of poverty. Now, let us explore a little this topic of the right to development. In this governing period, the development of St. Martin has to target the Sustainable Development Goal as defined by the United Nations for 2030. This on the basis of the United Nations Declaration on the Right to Development. This right of development of the people of St. Martin has to be realized and guaranteed, and therefore our elected representatives in Parliament and the ones appointed in government should address this human right to development with all authorities at the state, kingdom level, and the regional level, which is the Dutch Caribbean level, in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. So far, all meetings of our Prime Minister, as well as our Minister of Finance with Dutch authorities, have not addressed the implementation of the right to development of the people of St. Maarten. As requested by the governor, the governing program should give specific attention for cooperation with the Netherlands. Government and Parliament of St. Maarten will therefore endeavor in the upcoming governing period to cooperate within the kingdom to obtain a more equitable or the same human development index as the Netherlands, and to put a halt to the unequal implementation of the right to development of the people on this side of the kingdom. Furthermore, they have to endeavor to repatriate and to redistribute the wealth in the Kingdom of the Netherlands so that it becomes more equitable to all the Dutch Caribbean territories and reverse the colonial build-up of the wealth in the Netherlands. They had to endeavor to prepare development budgets to realize the right to development with all means possible in the state, as is stipulated in Article 2 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, which is ratified by the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And so to put an end to the unfair fiscal measures and skeleton budgets that are being imposed by the Kingdom Law on Financial Supervision and the Committee for Financial Supervision, the CFT. Last week's press conference of the CFT was another announcement that the balanced budgets that the St. Maarten government must realize are not to realize the right to development. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Finance, he even said that the financial recovery plan that he presented, working towards a sustainable financial future for St. Maarten, could not provide provisions to improve the well-being of the people. In other words, the 94% poor and needy households have to continue to live without a proper well-being.
You can win with the Caribbean lottery. You can win, making a difference, changing lives. Take a chance, and you can win with the Caribbean lottery. You can win, you can win.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. and I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Wib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Thanks a lot first, in the name of the World Bank, for selecting us, for choosing us, for implementing this part of the program. And congratulations for the challenge of the programming, because we know we've been working closely with Olivia and the team on how challenging it was to bring together all this programming. I come from a family of 8 children, and I know how it can be difficult to bring everybody around the table and agree on the program. And also, congratulations for managing to put disaster risk financing agreement, which is not like the sexiest topic sometimes you can imagine, on the programming. But I hope that we're going to manage to convince you how it is important for country's agenda in OCTs. I'd like to thank also in particular the EU for long-standing partnership now, because we've been working together in disaster risk management and climate change adaptation for a long time, but in particular over the last 7-8 years, through the ACPU, Natural Disaster Reduction Program, for instance, which has allowed us to do some pioneering work, which Mary will outline very quickly, in the OCS countries, and also support to the CRIF, of course, in the creation about 10 years ago, and also in the expansion of CRIF to Central America. So thanks a lot for this long-standing partnership. It's actually our most important partner in the region. So without further ado, I will ask Mary to just present the work. She will be leading the technical work, so she will be your counterpart on day-to-day basis. And Mary, if you can take over, thank you. And just to mention that, of course, this work is a piggyback on what has been done in the Caribbean so far. Pioneering work in understanding, having government understand their financial exposure to disasters, and also pioneering work in having them understand what kind of tools and what kind of instrument they have at their disposal to manage such risk.
The Phillipsburg Methodist Church proudly presents the Harmonics in Concert under the theme Praising in Harmony. This exciting concert takes place on Saturday, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Princess Port de Plaisance Pavilion. Guest artists that will be sharing the stage are Don Froston, Angie Ponteflet, Cecil Griffith, Karen Cadogan, Raymond Benjamin, Benjamin Bell, and Shaba, along with a djembe group. Come out, support, and be blessed by the Harmonics in Concert on Saturday, November 3rd. Proceeds of the concert will go towards the upgrading of the audio-video system of the Phillipsburg Methodist Church.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4.
4.
But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
I've received quite some comments lately about high levels of mosquitoes in the community. I think that's certainly corroborated by the experiences and the investigations by the ministry and the Department of CPS. However, in a sense, this is somewhat understandable. The reality is that, as we've talked about previously with mosquitoes, the most important measure in terms of controlling the mosquito population is managing the breeding sites for mosquitoes. In fact is, after Hurricane Irma, there's still quite a bit of debris out there. And also, the ministry's done quite some investigations in terms of going out into the community and researching. And we find, unfortunately, there's still quite a number of abandoned structures, abandoned houses. You'll find that there's places that are not being used, so they have swimming pools or cisterns that are not being properly maintained. The car wrecks in our community are also a source of breeding sites for mosquitoes, tires, drums, and just all the other debris that's still out there in the community. So in a sense, it is understandable that there are high levels of mosquitoes in our community. And again, I think this really illustrates how the message from the ministry for the past few years has been right on the mark, that the best thing to do to control the mosquito population is to control the breeding sites. That said, we have had discussions between the ministry, within the ministry, about how do we move forward, because while we certainly need to do a cleanup campaign, that's a longer-term structural approach. So I've asked whether the ministry would execute a fogging program. So the ministry is currently looking at that. The idea is to commence by next week. We certainly will come out prior to executing that with a schedule in terms of which locations, which days, so that people can also make sure that they are aware and they can take precautions in their community. But I think it's important to stress that this is not an ideal solution. This is not an ideal approach for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're still in the rainy season. So that means that if we go out into the neighborhoods and we fog, and then it rains the next day, in a sense, that effort's going to be lost. Much of the insecticides will end up being washed away by that rain. And if we don't address the debris in the community, even if the spraying is effective, it will knock down the population for a period of time, a very short period of time, but the mosquitoes will breed again, the larvae will hatch, and we will have again a high level of mosquitoes in the population. So the real key is for the community to be engaged, and also for government, we're working on our debris management program. So within the World Bank program, as you know, as the PM especially knows, that there was 4 projects in the first tranche: the hospital project, the emergency income support project, the disaster preparedness project. Those 3 have already been approved, the grant agreement signed, and the last one is the debris management project. Within that is the plan on how we're controlling the suppression of the fires at the dump, and a more comprehensive research and strategy in terms of how we're managing the debris for the island. But in that as well is a program for a collaboration between the Ministry of VSA and VROMI to do a comprehensive clean sweep program in terms of how we can use, actually the idea is that we're using people who are unemployed or underemployed to go out into the community to help to clean up that debris, working together with a number of contractors to collect that and haul it, obviously, and hopefully sort it when it gets to the dump. In particular, from the Ministry of VSA's perspective, our component in that project, There's a technological component. So we have a digital mapping plan. So the Ministry of VSA will use technologies so that we can better monitor the mosquito population in the community. Actually, the hope is that from the ministry's perspective, we will also use this technology and build on it with a community mapping, a social mapping program. So we're very excited about the technological approach towards the solution. As I touched on already, the clean sweep program. So the idea is that the Ministry of VSA, the CPS, will have inspectors that will go out into a community. So for example, we'd identify a neighborhood, the inspectors will go into the community, identify what are the mosquito breeding sources, what are the areas that need to be cleaned up, identify it, target it, and then collaborate with VROMI, who will actually execute the cleanup portion of that. As well as a much more longer-term approach in terms of we're addressing the legislative and policy issues that are out there. As you see, there's still quite a number of car wrecks, for example, that are around the community, and part of that is not the issue that government doesn't want to go and pick up the cars, but there are maybe some legislative and policy issues about what we can pick up and what the rules are regarding it, and so we're going to address that as well as an educational component to make sure that the community remains engaged and understands that they're part of the solution. They're part of the problem. If they don't address it, they're part of the solution in terms of how we move forward. So that community engagement is critical. And so just as a reminder from the Department of CPS, there are 3 Ds to mosquito prevention. Number 1, drain, meaning emptying out water. That can be bowls, your pet water bowls. That can be around your your flower pots. Sometimes they have saucers where you collect the water. Those are all perfect mosquito breeding sites, and of course, just your general debris in the area.